Folks, when you are trying to decipher this entire marketing landscape, this entire book marketing world that you find yourself in, you are pulled in a lot of different directions. There are going to be lots of different ideas, lots of different ways to market. But which one should you do? Because there are so many and they all seem great. And those really successful people are finding lots of ways to make it work. And you think you need to do all of them, but do you really need to do them all? That's what today's presentation is about. I'm Bryan Cohen. I am excited to present to you today. I am just going to make sure everything is live, everything is working. I've got Morgan and Rachel here helping out in the chat. If everything looks shiny and good, then let's get into today's presentation. I just want to get some thumbs ups from everybody. I am so appreciative of the AuthorTube writing conference letting me talk to y'all today. But do we have some thumbs? I'm looking for thumbs, and then we will get right into the fun. I think we've got it. I'm going to pray for the YouTube people to be happy with me. Wonderful. Morgan says we're good. So today we're going to talk about ditching the FOMO, the fear of missing out, ditching the FOMO of self-publishing and selling more books in the process. So let's do this thing. If you're excited, if you're as excited as me, hit me up in the comments, let me know. But I am excited to help you with this FOMO problem, ditching that FOMO and selling more books in the process. I'm going to move my camera here. So you do not have to do it all. You do not have to do it all. I could repeat that 100 times and it would still be extremely valuable to you. When we see best-selling indie authors doing so many things right, we assume that's how they made it, right? It's because they mastered those 7 things. If I just master those 7 things, I'll be fine. But in reality, these authors struggled to find balance just like us. They had nearly no time to figure it out, just like us. But what got them to the next level was not fitting in 8 hours a day of work into 4 hours and mastering every marketing method under the sun. It was not. It just wasn't. They got really good at one writing thing and one marketing thing and focused on those to bring them closer to their initial goals. 1 and 1. It was not 70. It was not 1,000,000. And I'm not going to cover the writing thing today. I think that's covered very well in the rest of this conference. Writing to market is one of the big ways that these folks do find their writing success. So, you know, there's a lot of things on that, a lot of resources on that. But let's dive deeper into the marketing thing we should concentrate on as we try to grow. Because that marketing piece that we focus on is going to take up a lot of our time, a lot of our energy, and we need to get it right. So, here's what you're going to learn today in today's presentation. You are going to learn how to choose the path of less but better to give yourself a greater chance to succeed. You are going to learn why small, regular actions can lead to massive growth in less time. And you are going to learn which marketing method you should focus on in order to cater to your strengths and the things you like doing, and so that you can be happier and healthier. If that sounds good to you, give me a smiley of some kind in the comments. But that is what you're going to learn today, and much, much more. And we should have plenty of time for Q&A at the end. So who am I? I'm Bryan Cohen. Who is this guy? Well, I'm a dad. I love presenting at conferences. This is the first YouTube conference that I'm presenting at, and I'm very happy that Shannon invited me here. So I present at conferences like this in person, and I'm a bit of a goof. I love marketing, and I'm a bit of a goof, and that is why I have a bag with my face on it. You can also see it kind of in the back of this room, which is a bit disheveled, but we're going to make it through this. We're going to make it through this. I wanted to see. We did have some happies. Morgan says, doing less. I love it. I definitely try to do too much. We all do. We all do, which is why this presentation is here for the AWC. So let's talk about FOMO versus its strange cousin that few of us know about, JOMO. Let's talk about FOMO versus JOMO. Fear of missing out. The fear of missing out is this feeling that we absolutely, positively need to do it all. If they're doing it, I better do it. If this new cool thing is happening, I better do this new cool thing too. But the opposite is a thing as well. The opposite of FOMO was told to me by one of my mentors, Pat Flynn, who shared the concept of JOMO, the joy of missing out. If you've never heard of the joy of missing out, go post in the comments, I've never heard of the joy of missing out. I've never heard of JOMO. When you're trying to do it all, out of fear that you're going to miss it out, this can result in stress, spreading yourself too thin, and burnout, which none of us want. We really don't want the burnout because then we're not going to get any writing or marketing done. But if you embrace just one thing, if you embrace one thing that you really enjoy doing, you get to spend less time, you get better results, and you avoid this distraction, this task switching. I've got to do these 7 TikTok things, and then I've got to do the YouTube thing, and then I've got to do this Facebook thing. It's better when you have the joy. Joy, we all want some more joy in our lives, right? So there are few downsides to the concept of less but better. And one of the upsides may be more health and happiness. Jocelyn had never heard of JOMO. Rachel had never heard of it, but likes the sound of it. Morgan had never heard it either. Awesome. Well, I am happy to share this concept with you. I very much am. So how do we double down on joy? How do we make sure we are getting more joy in our lives? So one of the reasons very few people try to only do one marketing thing is because they see the successful authors having success in a variety of areas. So they see the big successes doing 4 things well, and we think we have to do it too. But we don't always see how these folks feel about the work they're doing. We don't get to see the inside. We only see the outside. They could love it. They could love all 4 of those things. They could hate it. They might not even be doing all of it themselves. They might have other people for that. I run a lot of Facebook ads to my business, to my books, to my business. I don't run them. Somebody else does it for me because it doesn't bring me joy. So, yes, of course, there will be things that you have to do in your business that you don't like. You may not like publishing. If you're self-publishing, you may not like hitting the publish button. If you're traditionally published, you might not like submitting queries. You might not like trying to find an agent. But there are things that are difficult that you will need to do to succeed as an author. But you have a choice in the matter. It's not decided for you. It's not predestined. You do get a choice in the matter. Because there are multiple paths to the top. There isn't just one way that everyone got to be successful, because everyone would try to do that way. But there's 20 different ways that people are trying. So since there are multiple different paths to the top, you get to choose the one that best aligns with the life you want to lead. You get to choose based on your life, based on what would make you happier. And if you're going to have to work on something on a daily basis, and any marketing thing that is going to produce results for your books, for your book sales, is going to need to be something you do, at least you're contributing to on a daily basis. So if you are going to have to work on this thing on a daily basis, then it makes sense for it to fill your bucket, for it to make you feel good. Now, this is one of my favorite concepts in all of publishing, and I don't think people talk about it enough. And that is consistent mediocrity. You do not have to write 10 times faster than everyone else. You do not have to force yourself to publish a book every 3 weeks to get ahead. And for most, when people do try to do this, it leads to burnout, and it leads to health troubles, and it leads to carpal tunnel. I've got carpal tunnel from trying to write too fast. But it's much more sustainable to do less, to do fewer things on a consistent basis, even if it seems like it's not as much as the heavy hitters are doing. Well, this guy writes 6,000 words a day. Well, you're not this guy. And that guy may write 6,000 words a day and then not write for 3 months because he's overloaded. For instance, let's say you have your best writing day ever and you bust out 5,000 words in a single sitting. You may have gotten ahead of your word count goal. You were like, oh, I only needed to get 3,000 a day or only 1,000 a day. Now I'm cruising. I'm going to get 5,000 every single day. But if you can't keep up that word count, you will have fewer words than someone who just writes 1,000 a day. If you write 5,000 in a day and then you burn out and you aren't able to produce, someone who did less, something who did mediocre every day, they're going to have more success. How many of you have ever burned out? I know I have burned out. I know I've absolutely burned out before. And if you are feeling it right now, like you're feeling a little bit burned out just from, trying to do it all, then you absolutely need to think about, well, what if I did less each day but stayed consistent with it? Now, when you are marketing, it's exactly the same as that writing pace. If you can consistently make mediocre progress forward, you can do incredible things over the long haul. For the longest time, I thought, hey, on TikTok, which I enjoy TikTok, I'm not endorsing saying everyone needs to use TikTok. I just like TikTok. The best results I've had on there was from posting on a regular basis for months at a time, rather than trying to do 5 posts a day or 10 posts a day or whatever people are saying, the crazy things people say. It was consistently doing a little bit. Now, rather than saying, oh, well, it's got to be TikTok, or it's got to be YouTube, you can cater to your strengths here. So we don't all need to go out and do a TikTok video each day, unless you really like that idea. But just because something is the hot trend, something is the cool deal, it doesn't mean we'll all like it. It doesn't mean that you're going to be good at it either. Because you want to have it, that intersection, that Venn diagram. You like it and you're good at it and it actually leads to results. Now, I'm a big fan of Becca Syme. I'm a fan of her QuitCast podcast and her books and courses because she talks about author strengths. I also like those things because she's awesome. And what she says and what I've learned about from her and from reading about strengths, we all have a certain personality that caters to specific skills. In the Clifton strengths, I think it's 34 or 35 different strengths. And some of those strengths align with different kinds of marketing. And you may have a certain personality that caters to different strengths and different skills than a thing you heard about on a podcast or even a thing you heard about during this very conference. So it is a good idea to try things like Clifton Strengths Finder, which is a test, personality test, to learn more about yourself and what might best fit your work and your life. Because not every single thing is going to be right for you. I wanted to see if people had burned out before. Yes, Rachel had said, I've burned out myself out. Arundel, yes, crashed and burned. Morgan, constantly burned out, unfortunately. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is one of the things that helps against the burnout. If you're doing things that fill your bucket, if you're doing things on a regular basis that make you excited, can you imagine actually being excited to market your book? Because a lot of us are excited to write, not every day, but we're excited to write. Can you imagine if you were actually excited to market? Changes the game. You actually will market more because you like it more, because it caters to your strengths. So, one of the things that is helpful, I'm a big fan of goals on this. If you start with a specific and achievable goal that is focused on something you can control rather than, I want my book to sell 1 million copies, that's not really going to be in your control. But to produce a certain number of words or produce a certain number of pieces of marketing, you can control that. Because yes, of course, you can have a certain big book sales number in mind. And that's eventually what you want to achieve. But start with something you know you can do, because then you are going to make great progress. For instance, I market my books for 20 minutes each weekday between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Notice that we have very specific time parameters here. It's not something you can wiggle out of. Between 9 and 10, I'm going to spend 20 minutes on it. And people will not write this stuff down. But I really think that if you want to have the most success that you can with your marketing, with your book, write this kind of stuff down. Because what gets written actually gets done. Now, I know this seems tiny. 20 minutes? That's not a lot of time. But that's the point. It's those small, tiny habits. There's a bunch of books out there on small, achievable habits. I would recommend definitely reading some. But the consistent, small goals will help you to have that consistent mediocrity so you are actually getting things done. This is more important than almost anything else in publishing. This was one of my first writing conferences back in 2013 or so. Might have even been 2012. I was on a panel. I fell out of my depth. I was a young guy, younger than I am now. I'm 40, but I was, 30-ish. And I was thinking, I'm out of my depth. I'm here with these agents and whatnot on this panel. And I ask a question. They're all asking about querying and getting their books published. And I ask a question. How many of you write every day? And about a third of them raised their hand. And I said, if you're serious about this stuff, you need to produce every single day. And the agent said, listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. Maybe not about everything at that point, but certainly about that. It's that consistency, even if it's very, very small. And like I said, what I said 10 years ago is still true today. That consistency is more important than almost anything in publishing. So set a goal related to the actions to set yourself up for success. Related to your actions, what you can do. And you're going to make it a very tiny action. So from there, based on your strengths, based on what you enjoy doing, pick the smallest possible action that you can take toward the thing that you want to try. Because, hey, at first you might not know what is the thing I like doing that actually sells more books. So like our achievable goal, you want to pick something tiny. So what to do during that 20 minutes that is going to move you forward. So if it was writing, this would be the equivalent of saying, I write 100 or more words per day each weekday. That's not a lot. Some people write thousands. But the tiny goal to stay consistent with is 100 plus words per day. Now, it's been said one of the ways Jerry Seinfeld became such a success is because he wrote one joke a day for months and then years in a row. But the most important thing was that he didn't stop. He did it every day. Now, I would say do it every weekday. Let yourself have the weekends, but don't break the chain. Keep consistent on these marketing actions, and we're going to go into a whole bunch of marketing actions that you can potentially take in a few minutes here. So yes, you can do more than the tiny action. You can say 100 plus words. Well, I wrote 200. That's great. But at least get that 100 in. So do more than your tiny action. That is fine. But you should absolutely avoid skipping that action. So no matter what, you want to not skip. Exactly. As Morgan puts it, as Morgan mentions, Atomic Habits, which I believe is one of the books on my bookshelf back here. Small habits are essential for the big goals. And thank you for the like, JK. Thank you, folks, for liking this video. Feel free to like this if you are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not going to like my own video. That just seems crass. So let's talk about different marketing actions based on what you enjoy doing. So let's say you like writing. You're like, of course I like the writing. I hate marketing and I like writing. Writing can be marketing too, folks. You can write short stories related to your book. You can write these books that go out as email list freebies or email list exclusives. Or you can contribute these stories to anthologies. These are all ways to market your book with writing. You may also get a lot of value out of writing Kindle Shorts or serialized stories through the Kindle Vella program. People who write a lot and enjoy producing writing use these as forms of marketing. Facebook. It might be a social media tool of choice for people. And if you like Facebook and you like writing longer, detailed posts or shorter, funnier posts, these could be marketing for you. Or, of course, one way to market your books is to simply focus on writing and publishing more books. I spoke with Katie Cross, who is an amazing author, very successful with direct selling. And she says, well, I've basically started a subscription service because I publish my book, a new book, on the same day of the month every month. So it's like coming out with a book March 15th, April 15th, May 15th, etc. And that is how she markets, because she writes a whole heck of a lot and she writes very, very fast. But that has worked for her. Might not work for you. The important thing is about prioritization. If you decide, hey, I like writing and writing is going to be my form of marketing, then make sure it takes up 80% of your marketing time. The thing you like the most, the thing you love doing the most in your marketing should take up 80% of that time. How many of you just got excited finding out that writing can be part of your marketing? I hope a bunch of you, because I know that you might love writing and not like the other stuff. So what are some minimum viable products? What is the tiny actions you could take related to writing as a marketer? So let's break this down, how it would look on a daily basis. Your goal could be to write for at least 15 minutes or 200 words per day between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., or maybe you're an evening person, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., etc. So that would be your goal. Now, if you're using social media for your marketing writing, it might be that you're going to write one post per week every Friday. And you could batch process this. You could say, I'm going to write the content for 4 posts once a month, and that's going to be my marketing for the whole month. Now remember, just writing a post on Facebook, if it doesn't sell any books for you, then you have a lot of work to do to grow that. Because if you enjoy it, but it's not selling you books, you've got to get it to the point where it is selling you books. Now, remember, it isn't about trying to set a sky-high goal of 3,000 words per day or a post every single day. It's about trying to set up this strong habit that you aren't going to break. You aren't going to break the chain. So once the habit is developed, you can then start building it up. Maybe it goes from 200 words a day to 400 words per day. But it does not have to be this huge, crazy goal. So Morgan said, I never considered using writing as marketing, but it is such a good idea. And if you love it, if you love this stuff, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. So I moved my screen over. Let me go fix that. There we go. What if you like taking pictures? What if you're a big fan of, you like taking pictures, you're a take pictures of your food, you're a take pictures of your book, you're more of a pictures person. You can take pictures of your writing space, your computer screen, maybe even your writing animal buddy, if you have one, and you can post them to Instagram. You can be a regular Instagram contributor. You can gather up all the locations that have inspired you to write and put them together in a Pinterest board. If you like pictures and editing, you might be able to put some of these photos into a collage for use in TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, etc. Now, if the above ideas make you cringe, pictures and taking pictures and documenting your life probably shouldn't be the focus for you. And yay! That means you cross it off the list. It's not something you have to do. It's not something you have to do because you don't have to do it all. You can focus. Follow one course until success. FOCUS. Focus. So if you love doing this, maybe it's an 80% marketing focus for you. So what are some minimum viable products for pictures? We want to keep that output really small. We do not want to over-commit. Taking one picture per day or 5 pictures per week that are meant to be part of 1 to 2 posts could be a great way to start. If editing is involved, like you like the photos and you like manipulating them, maybe that's just 1 post a week because you do not want to overdo it. Maybe even just 3 per month because it's okay to start small. And it is the goal to not break the chain. But look, routines are hard. Learning routines are hard. Trying to implement them, this is not the easiest thing. So please be kind to yourself while you are trying to get this routine created. Now, there is nothing wrong with going into Atomic Habits, as Rachel mentioned. You can use this tip from Atomic Habits where you actually identify with the habit. You can say, I am the photographer for my indie author career. Not just, I take photos for my marketing. I am the photographer. I am the documentarian for my indie author career. Because there are people out there who have built up their careers on something like Instagram, on something like pictures. And it's because they spent a good long time building up that habit. What if you like videos? Hey, we're on a video right now, aren't we? If you watch videos or you love creating videos, you can absolutely try some short talking head videos for the TikTok platform when it's just your face. If you've got a flair for comedy, you can try creating trend or meme videos on TikTok, Reels, or YouTube Shorts, because there are plenty of people who have built that up. If comedy isn't your thing, but you like filming things that aren't you, you can do things like page flip videos or those carousel of photos or self-made mini trailers on TikTok or Reels or Shorts. There's also a great opportunity. I've mentioned shorts a bunch of times, but shorts, people don't always think about YouTube shorts, but we're here on YouTube right now. So that gives you a site that you could potentially grow on. Too many authors have tried doing short videos when they hate it. They're like, I hate TikTok, but it's the only thing that sells books, so I have to do it. No, the only thing that sells books long term is something that you can keep up with. And so if videos are not your thing, you're going to get burned out trying to do too many videos. So be honest, know thyself, honestly evaluate what you like and what fits with your strengths, because that is going to help you succeed. What are some minimum viables for videos? Look, start with one a week. You do not have to do it all right away, posting to multiple platforms. One video per week on one platform. Just start small. If you do decide to up it to more than one platform, there's pieces of software like repurpose.io. I mean, TikTok now makes it easy to kind of download the video and download the sound. It wasn't always that easy. So just be careful that whatever software you use for that it doesn't mess up with the sound, because I've had that happen before. But you can just record it on one platform, download it to your phone or your computer, and then post it to other platforms. I've done that a bunch of times. Now, there are people out there, and I've made mention of it earlier, people who want to post, say you absolutely need, and you should. Be careful about those needs and those shoulds out there. You need to, and you should post multiple times per week, and even multiple times per day. But look, start small. Don't overload yourself. When you're first getting into the habit, remember that you're trying to build up a habit. And sometimes it's way better to build up a simple habit that you can expand on, rather than trying to build up a complicated habit that is too complex for you to keep up with. Yes, you can eventually try to do more, but you got to make sure you like it first, because if you're experimenting, you don't know if you like these platforms, then you need to try just a little bit to see if you actually enjoy it. How are we enjoying this presentation so far? I'm seeing some comments here. Rachel says, I've seen tweet threads or Facebook posts draw an interest to a person's product. Absolutely. I've seen it draw to mine. Rachel says, yes, the habit just needs to be made, because small and steady is the way to go. AF says, mini trailers for shorts sounds like fun. Yes, absolutely. I think that if you enjoy producing those, you will succeed. If you don't like them, you try them out. You don't like them, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're a bad marketer. It just means that isn't a type of marketing that you enjoy. What if you like statistics? I've worked with a few author accountants. I've worked with a few author statisticians out there. What if you like the numbers? You like crunching the numbers. You like balancing the checkbook. A lot of authors use advertising platforms like Amazon. I'm a big fan of the Amazon one. Facebook or BookBub. But they do this and they hate stats. They just hate having to learn this stuff. But if you enjoy looking at spreadsheets, you enjoy figuring out return on investment, you enjoy that stuff, then maybe it makes sense to try out one of those advertising platforms. The big thing most authors use these ad platforms for is to get sales on Amazon, Apple, Kobo, even their own Shopify store if they're selling direct. And traditionally published authors can use these ad platforms as well. But another thing you can try, if you like the stats, you don't have to just be pushing people right to your book. You can try running email list building ads through Facebook by sending potential readers to a landing page to sign up for your newsletter. Now, I'm a big fan of these. I run these personally to my own books. And it works pretty darn well to get subscribers, because I actually have it set up that when people sign up for my list, they actually have an opportunity to buy my book right after they sign up. And so it ends up that the cost per person ends up pretty low. And I really love marketing funnels, which is a form of statistics. I like stats in that way. And so I enjoy this. And so it works as a marketing method for me. Here's the trouble. And please tell me if you've run into this math problem. When people try to make advertising their 80% thing, they're going to spend 80% of their time on that. But they're also trying to make TikTok their thing and spend 80% of their time on that. They're also trying to make social media their thing and spend 80% of their time on that. But you only get 100%, folks. I know enough about statistics to know that. 240% simply isn't going to add up. So stop trying to make everything your 80% thing, because there isn't enough space for it. Like I said, I know enough about statistics to know that. What are some minimum viable things you can do for statistics? At first, the MVP for statistics is spending an hour a week learning one platform. I am very biased for learning Amazon ads first. And I have a free challenge, my free 5-day author ad profit challenge that I'm running in July. That is the simplest one to learn if you enjoy stats. That's just my 2 cents there. But once you have advertised some of the basics, the next step may be, or gathered some of the basics, you've learned the platform. It can be to set up 1 to 5 ads per week on the platform of your choice with a reasonable bid and budget. You have to learn enough of the basics so that you know what a reasonable bid and budget actually are. Data gathering, for people who like statistics, is part of the fun here. So you want to set yourself up with 1 session to analyze the data. Say that's your MVP there. Just 10 minutes or less of analyzing the data to see how things are going. I have spoken to multiple 6-figure authors, not this week, really this year, who abide by the philosophy. When it comes to statistics, they look at their royalties on one side and their ad spend on the other side of the equation. They are not looking just at Facebook or just at the Amazon ad dashboard. They're looking at the whole picture. And that's something my team and I have been teaching to the community for years. So that is the perspective I would recommend if you are a stat head like me. What if you like planning? If you're a planner or a project manager type person, you may want to do big, elaborate things like big, elaborate launches. You can try to put out more books per year. Some of them can be short books. I know an author who's making $500 a month right now off of just 20,000 word books because they're very, very well written. They're written to market, and she's making some money off of that. So you can try to put out more books per year that are shorter and plan out all the things that go with a book launch, like email list swaps where someone shares your launch with their email subscribers, Facebook page takeovers, TikTok lives, YouTube lives, etc., and other promotions in order to make each launch a major splash. And you can go beyond the typical launch. You can create special editions. You can create an audiobook version of your book and launch it on a platform like Kickstarter, which is a planner's dream. Planners love setting up special things like Kickstarter campaigns. So you can even go so far as to have a relaunch party for books that you previously put out. When you get a new cover or a new book description or a new blurb, you can plan the heck out of it. Now, if you're a launcher, if you love launching, focus on the launching. Don't worry about kind of what I will call the evergreen promotion between books. Focus on making each launch awesome and celebrating these events. I'm a launcher. I'm really bad with the evergreen stuff. It's not something that fits with my strengths. But I love doing a big launch. And so that fits with me. Some of the MVPs for planning, look, it can be hard to set up a minimum viable product for launches. They take a lot of effort. But you can always set aside 15 minutes a day or 1 hour a week for planning. I would recommend have some planning time each week and some action time each week, because you don't want to get just stuck in planning mode. You actually need to take action on the plans that you put out. Also, part of the MVP for planning and launching. Launchers go hard, so remember to have downtime. You need downtime. It is required so that you can decompress from the intensity of a launch. Now remember, if you're trying to make planning and launching your 80% thing, you can't fit in another 80% thing, because that would be 160%. So please keep your life simpler. What if you like people? Go into live events. Not like this one. I might have borrowed this from a previous presentation that I did. If you go to live events, or you like people and interacting with them in YouTube comments, then it might bring you serious joy. You can go to local, regional, national, or online events. And you can go to where people are selling their books, and you can try selling your book in person as well. If you haven't gotten to see Ben Wolf has a book out about selling direct at events. Absolutely go read his book, because it is fantastic. And you can spend your time on collaborations with other authors if you like other people. You don't have to be alone. I like other people. I need to work with other people. And so I find myself needing to do more and more collaborative stuff. You can even connect with an anthology project. You could even organize it. But that's more of a planner thing. Planners would enjoy that. So another option, you can organize a group of readers with things like a reader team that gets early copies of your books and love talking about your work. Now, it's interesting. I'm getting this sense here as I hear thunder and lightning around me. Hopefully we're able to stay on. But I get this sense that at various points, y'all probably did 4 different things on the lists that I have shared, but you didn't enjoy all of them. It is okay to focus on one thing and make it your 80% focus. So minimum viable products for people. If you want to do events, start by picking 1 event per month or quarter. If you want to co-write or work on an anthology, events like 20 books to 50K, but really, this event, AWC, folks, you may find a co-writer in the comments at this conference. So remember, follow up with people that you meet this week in the comments. Schedule ahead that you're going to do this, and you're more likely to do it. If you want to start a reader group, work on creating 1 post or message per week that can help to inspire engagement amongst your readers. So with all of these, start small and don't try to do too much at once. So you can avoid burnout if you enjoy doing the marketing thing you're doing. Picking one of these areas of your focus for your 2023 or even your 2024 may seem crazy, because you're going to learn a lot here at the conference. But if you align with your strengths, and if you align with your heart, and you make sure that the focused thing you're doing for your marketing fits with your strengths, what you're good at, and fits with your heart, what you like doing, you're not just going to get more readers. You're going to be happier. And you deserve to be happy. Let me say that again. You deserve to be happy, because you're going to be putting in a lot of hard work. You've already put in a lot of hard work. You're going to be putting in more, because you deserve to be happy as you make this into your career. And I love getting the opportunity to teach and speak with so many wonderful people here at conferences like AWC. So thank you for bringing me this bit of joy here today. So to recap, forming just 1 habit around your marketing will help you succeed with a less but better mindset. Less but better is the key to success. Making 1 small thing related to that habit a regular action will help you to see more growth in less time. And if you choose a marketing method that you actually like, you will be happier, and your happiness matters. So I want to thank you to Shannon and Margaret for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. And a big thank you to all of you for being here too. In addition to some of the free things we do, like our 5-day challenge, we have our Author Ad School course, we have coachings, all sorts of stuff. And so you can scan this QR code to find out more about us. So you can just hold your phone up to your screen, scan that, and connect with us there. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the conference, wonderful rest of your day, and I would love if y'all have any questions that you would like me to take at this time. I am absolutely happy to take them. So big thank you, everybody. Let me go see what folks are saying here in the chat. So please, if you have questions, now is the time to post them. I'll stay as long as you need me to. And AF says the ad challenge makes the stats make sense. I appreciate that. That is at authorsadvertise.com for what it's worth. Authorsadvertise.com is the URL for the challenge. Morgan said the idea of planning a huge launch makes my head hurt. Yep, so don't do it. Definitely don't do it then, Morgan. But it's good for me to realize so I can stop trying so hard to do everything. Yes, you do not have to do it all. Women Fantasy Authors says, align with your strengths and your heart. Love that. Yes, you can stop doing the things that don't make you happy. You can stop doing them. CM asks, is there a time frame to start marketing a book before you publish? So Jamie Albright, great author. She is a romance author. She actually started marketing her book a year before it came out. So there's no timeline. Most authors start after they've put out the book. But there is no reason you can't start early because, folks, look at all these TikTok successes. They had been posting about the books they enjoy reading from 2019 onward, grow this big fan base. Then they put out a book in 2022, 2023. They get a big publishing contract or they self-publish it and have a lot of success because they'd actually been, unknowingly, marketing their book 3 years before it came out. And so there is no time frame. There is no requirement here. So, all right. I saw CM have this question, which I answered. All of the rest of you who are watching, get your fingers ready. So come on into the chat. Come on over to the chat. I would like you to type in, based on all these different things that we talked about, writing, or people, or stats, or videos, or pictures, or whatever. What do you want to focus on from here on out? There are 16 people watching the live. I would like 15 more people who haven't commented here. 15 more people. Type in, what is your focus? If you want to get something out of this conference, you're going to need to take action. Your tiny action that I'm asking you to take right now. Go post in the chat and let me know what area. It can be very generic, like videos, very generic, like pictures. What do you like doing that you would like to be the focus of your marketing? Just say the general subject area and we'll go from there. Morgan said, this is good. I really enjoyed this. Oh, I'm so glad, Morgan. Thank you. Rachel says, such wonderful advice and having that plan of action. Yeah, thank you. You are so welcome. Thank you, Arendelle, and thank you, Women's Fantasy Authors. Fantastic. All right, y'all. You are commenting. I love this. Thank you. Morgan says, writing and videos for me. Awesome. Morgan, think about the things you're doing that aren't writing and videos for your marketing. Start planning an exit strategy. Get out of those things. CM, writing. Perfect. But remember, it's got to be writing more books, and writing things that just are for marketing, like for your email list, like an exclusive short story for your email list, or a special story that people can sign up to your email list for at the back of your book. Rachel, I'll be focusing on my writing and providing snippets and written products as marketing. Love it, Rachel. Love it. Just remember, the stuff that isn't that, move it away. Move it out of your docket. Take it out of your schedule. Because if it's not leading to results anyway, it's not worth doing, especially if it doesn't bring you joy. Deb, writing. Awesome. SD, writing and AI. Awesome. Just remember, move the other stuff out. Move the other stuff out. Carol with the writing. Awesome. I love it. Everyone's liking the writing. Just think of all the ways that writing can be used in your marketing, and get really specific with it. Get really narrow with it. All right, what else we got here? Arendelle says, I don't know, maybe J.K. Lamo and I should write a collaboration. If you like working with a person, there is nothing wrong with working with that person. If you like people, if you like connecting with people, do that. Connect with those people. And that can be marketing. Anna, the writing and the pictures. I love it. Get into the habit of the pictures and get out of the habit of the things that are not making you happy. Awesome. Women fantasy authors, writing and author interviews. Love that. Make sure, because a lot of people go down the author interview writing hole, I guess. Make sure those author interviews are going to produce sales for you in some way. Make sure those are going to produce sales for you in some way. I do know of a lot of people who've done podcasts that have not sold their own books. So there might be another way. If the author interviews do not work for you. If they work for you, keep doing them, or find a way to make them work for you. AF, definitely videos for me. I'm a video person too. I love recording the videos. I love being on the camera. I love being here, getting the opportunity to talk to all of you. I love videos. SD, hasn't written in a month because of this wonderful conference. Congrats on this conference, SD. Congrats on this conference, Margaret, because, I mean, this is great. It is hard to put these things together, but it can be very, very valuable. SD says, I will have to rewatch this again. Please, I'll be here. Y'all, feel free. Click on my face and subscribe to my channel. I haven't been posting regularly on YouTube, but maybe this will inspire. Maybe this will inspire me to get back into it. Rachel likes the pictures. I have taken pictures of things that inspire me. I've never thought of using those. People have built up a following on Pinterest. People have brought up a following or built up a following on Instagram. And you can too. You absolutely can too. All right. Rachel says, do you feel like people sometimes need permission to remove things from the list? It felt really good to hear someone say that was okay. Rachel, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like people are always needing a neutral perspective to let them know, or a friend to let them know. Right here and now, Rachel and everyone, you have my permission to take things off your list that are neither bringing you sales nor bringing you joy. You have my permission. You can do it. You can do it too. Morgan says, I think so, Rachel. I literally just said out loud, thank you for giving me permission to stop. You are so welcome. women's fantasy authors writing prequel novella to use as a reader magnet. Absolutely. I writing is not my thing. Writing is not my thing. But if it was, I would write shorts for my email list all the time. I would give cool freebies to my email list all the time so they're excited. Arendelle said, in just a little bit tonight, I have gotten so much. The conference is great. Yay! That's awesome, and I know there is more to come. Very excited for all y'all getting to see all that stuff. I guess there's a little survey. Feel free to give me all the thumbs. All the thumbs. SD gave a love face there. Morgan says, yay for the teamwork. Absolutely. And Rachel says that she has used the prequel strategy to have over 500 newsletter followers because of that. And I loved making it. That is great, Rachel. Lean into the love, my friends. I can see that the comments are drying up a little bit, so we can kind of close down shop in just a second. But lean into the love. And I would love it if every single one of you wrote in your planner right now before you have a chance to put it off, weed out the things I don't love and fill my bucket with the things I do. Put it in your calendar. Write it however you want to write it. Start planning my habit for something I will love doing. Because that is what is going to make you happier, and at the same time, it is going to help you sell more books. Rachel, Morgan, SD, anyone, if there's anything else you want to hear from me, now is your time. Otherwise, I'm going to go make some Parmesan crusted fish. I love cooking. I love cooking for my family, so I love doing it. I'm going to go make some Parmesan crusted fish for my wife and daughter, and I am going to enjoy every moment of it because there is not enough time in the world to put things we don't love on our to-do list. But folks, it has been an honor. Thank you again to Shannon for inviting me. This has been great. I have enjoyed this so much. You're going to love the rest of this conference. And I think we're going to sign off here. Big hand to Morgan and Rachel for handling the chat, everybody. Appreciate y'all so much. I hope you, thank you, Jocelyn. Yep, the fish is going to be very yummy. Thank you, Rachel, Arendelle, and Morgan. I hope all of y'all have an incredible rest of your evening. And I will hopefully see you sometime soon. Talk to you later. Bye, everybody.